Well, hello and welcome to the beautiful part of the evening where you sit back, we bring the issues and we discuss it. And today we have one intriguing story. Gold in the Gulf. Constantly and ironically, people in our parts of the world, no matter how tropical it is, always leave to seek greener pastures. Even sometimes in the desert, we go and seek greener pastures. And we go through some really weird and very difficult instances to get to these greener pastures. There are those who walk all the way to Libya. And as they walk in the bunch, they know within amongst themselves that some may die, but they still take the risk that it's Libya or suicide. And now the new craze is those who go to the Middle East, particularly girls, going to serve as house helps, with this dream of coming back as millionaires, because they'd already calculated how many dollars they are earning in a week, how many years they're staying, how much they will spend there, how very frugal they'll live, and come with all their cash earned. But the story is not so. They get there and they go through hell. But the sad thing is, no matter how much you portray it, no matter how much you say it, there's still a whole bunch of people queued up who've made up their mind that Ghana is hell and they have to check out. How it is that we're going to educate our young girls or young ladies or even men who seek greener pastures, that if you have that determination to walk across the desert, you should make it anywhere. Well, my name is Nana Sakwa, the fourth chief of the famous little republic of Akwemwe Dumasa. When I come back, I have a mystery guest to introduce, and we shall find him the usual. Don't move.
They told me, when I got there, I tried to make friends with them, and they tried to tell me a lot about that place. And at that moment, I was panicking because that wasn't what I've heard of before going there. I was panicking. But the grace upon me, and through my prayers, I became friend with the woman in the house. In that place, to have overheard that they will sell you, and the woman will take the money. She is selling and she will take her money. So I became friend with her, and she's also not from that country. She says she's from another country and she came to marry there. And because of my friendship, how I try to be free with her to just get her, to get some clue about the country, she told me a lot. And I tried to hold myself, and since then she liked me a lot, and she bought me a phone that I should hide. If I hide it, it will help me. If anything, I should contact her, and she will show me the guidelines and then move out of it.
You said you got scared when you were being told of stories there.
Yeah.
What did they tell you that got you panicking?
When I make friends there, my friend was telling me that
unable to endure the ordeal and long hours of work with little food to eat, she absconded from her slave master's house. But she rather ends up in the hands of a man who wanted to sexually molest her. Akosia's savior became her unending nightmare.
The people in the country, they are very wicked. And I told her it is a lie. But for me believing, I was there for 1 month when a lot of people, somebody will come today and maybe they will come and buy him or her away, and others. So there is a Ghanaian girl that came there. She was beaten, very beaten, and she got hurt. And through her speech, she said she's with her kafil and she's working, and they went every day. She will go to farm, she will go and bath for cows and others. After that, she'll come and cook. And one day when she went to the farm, the moment she came, she saw her SIM card on the floor, and the SIM card, when she bent to take it, the SIM card vanished. So that makes her panic, and she tried to run away from her house, and they caught her, sent her to police station. They beat her mercilessly. and they brought her to that place. So through that experience, I was very, very panicked, and I felt guilty.
Describe what you saw at that particular place for us and the condition in which some of the girls were in.
Yeah, you know, the very moment I saw the girl, you know, the condition in which she is very bad. And even the woman that I am free with, I try to like convince her that she should take care of the girl, but she said she can't do anything because this is what the madam says and what the girl is saying is a lie. They mostly listen to them but not us. If we are explaining ourselves, they don't want to listen to us but listening to their fellow women, because what they say is final. They are taking care of us, so whatever they do is final because they know theirs is right and ours is wrong. So at that moment, you know, I became very sad.
This is the worrying situation thousands of Ghanaian migrants go through, especially in the Gulf region, including Kuwait, Qatar, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia. A study by the U.S. Department of State in 2013 estimated that globally, the number of people trafficked yearly ranges between 600 and 800 million. Ghana is part of this statistic. Is it a challenge of lax security at the airports, or how do these girls make it to the Gulf states when the bilateral agreement that made it easy to travel to the Gulf region has been cancelled? The chief protocol at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Joseph Ago, blames middlemen, popularly known as Goro boys, who aid the girls to get around the system.
Well, exactly, that set the premises for what we are talking about, gold in the Gulf. And with me in the studio, my own brother and work colleague, Fifi Kumsin, editor, JoyNews, all the hotline documentaries. He had said, but he's not been on PM Express before, so if you say, we find your bottle, my viewers and I will find you a bottle of something.
Okay.
Fifi, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Fifi, that's a heart-wrenching story. But when you were editing it, you know, what comes to mind?
This story by Kwetenate, Gold in the Gulf, shines a light on women being sent to the Gulf states. We talked about Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and these other Gulf countries. These are women who are promised gold. They are promised heaven on earth if they are able to move to these countries to work as domestic workers and laborers in various forms. It turns out what they witness, what they experience, what they go through is a stark contrast to what they may have expected. And of course, the traffickers promised them. We spoke to 3 women, one Mariam, another Akos, and the other one Fidelia. Mariam was a woman who sold corn and granules at a shaman. She thought that she would go earn a living, get some good money, and then come back to Ghana to affect her family. It turns out that was not going to be. When she got there, her passports were seized. Oh. She had to stay in the house all day. She couldn't go out. At some point, she felt, no, this was not what I bargained for. This was not the reason I came here. I thought I was going to make a lot of money, but that's not what is happening. Now, the whole process of, Mariam having to earn a living and everything was a tough one. At some point, she had to run out of the house. We also had Akos. Akos also witnessed various, forms of abuse because, again, she didn't want to stay. A lot of these girls, when they get there and discover that, in fact, this is mystery. This is not something we expected. They would want to get out. And that is where the trouble starts. Then they will, maybe your master or whoever you went to live with would call the person who brought you in, the agency that brought you in. And a lot of these agencies are very illegal. They are operating illegally. They will call them. In fact, they actually help the landlady or whoever you are living with to seize the passports. So at the end of the day, you don't have a passport to even come back to Ghana. Yes, you came to Saudi Arabia to make a living. You discover that indeed you are even unable to return to your own country when you feel the pressures are becoming too much. So you have to work. You have to continue working. Some of them are sexually abused. Some of them are killed. There are so many videos that we couldn't even show in this documentary of some of these women being lynched.
Wow. I mean, maybe I may be naive, but I mean, 2017, you know, these are stories you hear, you know, during the rope. Okay, I hear Kwete is on the line, so let me speak to Kwete. Kwete did this. Hello, Kwete Nate.
Hello, Nana.
Akofa Bebium. That's another one. Kwete, I mean, a question I was going to put to Fifi. Let me put to you. I mean, in 2017, I mean, these stories, you're telling a story as if we're in the Roman ages when, you know, slaves were sold and captured. And I mean, does this really happen in this day and age, or some overblown story from somewhere? Kwete, have I got you? Production, do I have Kwete? Kwete, do I have you still?
Nana, I'm on the line.
Oh, good. Kwete, I was just saying that, I mean, these stories in 2017 sound like something in the medieval period. I mean, I'm a bit naive. I don't know, when you were investigating, did you find it surprising too that, you know, in 2017, you know, somebody could just travel, go to somebody's house, and all of a sudden they are stuck and, you know, literally can't move?
Nana, the scenario here is quite different. These girls are lured, sometimes by their own family members. Your uncle, your father, your mother will tell you that there is a life-changing opportunity. You get to fly abroad. Your life would turn around the moment you go there. There are brighter opportunities for you. One of the girls I spoke to in this documentary, for instance, was working. She was earning a good salary compared to her education level. But her uncle told her that there is this fine opportunity. Speak to the agent. The uncle showed her pictures of how Saudi Arabia looks like. The place was glittering. And she took the offer. She was told that she would be given her own phone. She would get her own room. She would be paid well. She would only take care of her guardian's children, and that would be all. She would get enough money to enable her return home and then pursue her secondary education. So many of these girls are ignorant of the conditions there. All they think of is, I'm flying abroad. There are better opportunities there. So let me take the offer, and my life would turn around.
But Kwete, what do they really need these girls for?
These girls usually do menial jobs, laying of beds, taking care of their children. And you work from 4 a.m. to 12 midnight. So you wake up around 4 a.m. You begin scraping the floor, mopping the walls, and I'm told that sometimes you are working in a 4-story building, so you have to clean from the 1st floor to the 4th floor. When you are done, you wash everyone's clothing, you cook food for the family, and before you finish, at midnight, and you wake up the next day at 4 a.m. and then continue with the job. And if you are not lucky, your caretaker would also sexually take advantage of you. And for some of these girls, some told me very chilling stories. One girl told me that in her case, her caretaker slept with her. There was the caretaker's son who also slept with her, and then a houseboy who also slept with her. And these stories are so chilling to listen to.
Wow. But are there any success stories? Are there any girls who went and they were, fortunate enough to live in a good person's house and therefore, they worked reasonable hours and made good money?
I haven't heard of any such stories, but what the private employment agencies are telling me is that there are positive stories. I'm yet to encounter those who've been there. They've worked less hours and made good money. I'm yet to meet some of these persons.
I see. Let me go to Haji Aboya Gariba, who's a former special envoy to Saudi Arabia. So, she may know more of Saudi Arabia than us. Haji, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Haji, are there any success stories? Are there any girls that came to Saudi Arabia and they were fortunate enough to live in a reasonable person's house and made lots of money? Because all the stories we hear are quite chilling.
Yeah, first of all, I was the deputy head of mission in Saudi Arabia. And from the way Nati narrated the story, I think it looked like he was there with us in Saudi. And for my short stay, about 2 years in Saudi, we haven't heard of any success story. It's always been problems. It's always been those cases. Every day you see girls running to the consulate. I was in Jeddah, I wasn't in Riyadh. And so, hello?
Yeah, Haji, I still love you, yeah.
Yes, so we're always getting these complaints, and the girls were always running to the consulate hotels, and some of them were being sent to hospitals and the rest. And we've never had any success story that, oh, my kafil or Tonga has treated me well. And they were treated well or they were treated well. We're not hearing about that. But the problem is the success story.
Haji, I remember, once upon a time, when I was in the UK, I was much, much younger and stronger. Well, I used to wake up at about 3 a.m., go and do a cleaning job, then run to do a middle job, then go to school, and then after school, go and do a third job. So I used to literally work round the clock to the point where I refused to lie in my bed, because if I lie in my bed, I won't be able to wake up. So I sleep in the sofa. I mean, life in this, in the Western world or the advanced world, it's not like here where, you wake up at 10 o'clock and if it rains, well, it rains, so I won't come to work. Which is which? Is it that these girls are just realizing that, listen, it's a tough world out there, or genuinely, their life is completely uncalled for?
Yeah, Nana, what you are saying is you were doing it on your own. I mean, you were willing to do it and you had a target in the focus. But this one is like slavery. It's like slavery. You are locked up. You don't have the peace of mind. You don't have time to rest. And you are treated like a slave most of the time. What the girls tell us is that you even the water in the house, you are given different water in different to put the sun over you are. So I feel like a slave. You don't even have the peace of. It's not like you are working. Some of them don't even get the salary they are supposed to get. And I started experiencing this 2009 when I went to perform the Hajj. I had the opportunity to go, and there was a report from the Saudi authorities that 63 of Ghanaian women have refused to return to Ghana. And it was confirmed by the then Ambassador Abdullah Salifu in his report to government that 63 of the Ghanaian girls did not come back to Ghana. And we didn't receive any report that they were missing or they were dead. So I started getting this, and I was I'm a minister for women and children, and I was in charge of trafficking, And so I took up this matter and to make sure that, look, the religion does not prevent girls from performing Hajj. But if you are somebody who wants to go for Hajj. These are older people. If you want to help a young girl to go for Hajj, why don't you bring the girl back? And so I wrote to the ministry, I wrote to the police, I wrote to the immigration, and I said, look, if any girl wants to go to perform Hajj, let them go. But the one sending that girl must make sure that she brings back the girl, or else you'll be, what do you call it? You'll be arrested at the airport without that girl coming back. You know, so I started all this. Fortunately for me, I was sent to Saudi again, and I took up this matter. But it looks like nothing can be done. The Saudi community or the Saudi people, it's a closed society. It's very difficult to get information from, about these girls. Some of them go to as far as the closest to Iraq. You can't get there. You don't even know where. He doesn't even know where she is.
Wow.
She doesn't even know which town am I, which part of town am I. When she gets into the house, she's locked up. Yes, she'll be there. She doesn't even come out of the house.
Wow.
You know, and so we have to intervene to bring them. And some of the Saudis are also good. When you get the report, if she's able to get your contact, and she calls you call the kafil or the sponsor, he comes with the girl, then you negotiate. Sometimes it's okay. Then they'll now know that the mission, the Ghana mission in Saudi is aware of that girl with you. So they treat them nice. But in the case of where you have illegal agents who just come, I had it just recently before I came. There's this lady, I will not be able to call her. She's called Juliet Manovia. She sent a professional teacher telling her that she was going to teach. I had to struggle and I called her to even allow the girl to come back home, because sending me videos that she has been raped, she's been molested, and I called Juliet. Please, Juliet, she's a fellow woman. Let her come back. But she shut me up. She locked her. She's changed all her photos, but I have her picture. And I said, look, well, I'm going to come after you because you don't do that. And Nana, please, if you hear the type of names that go into this kind of business, you'll be shocked. I cannot mention names now. But if you hear the type of big names that are involved in this thing, you will not respect them again.
Wow.
So apart from arms and drugs, I think human trafficking, modern day slavery, is the next. And we have to tackle this thing seriously. And I am begging the immigration, please. On several occasions on my street, I meet 20 girls, 15 girls. Immigration, you have been trained to see all these signs, that these are human trafficking signs. Yet you allow them to travel. Are you helping Ghana? We have had joint at the Ministry of Women and Children and Gender. We have joint training with immigration and the Ghana police. You see the signs of human trafficking. Yet you allow these people to go. 20 girls traveling on one aircraft, 15. You allow them. What do you want to achieve? So I'm begging they should help our girls. Send them back. Don't allow them to go. You know, and I think the Minister of Labor or something, Minister of Labor, should lay to the embassy here so that they can have some idea. Even if they are going to go, you want to export type. It must be a freedom. And we must know where the girls are going, which particular agent in that girl, and where is she going to. And then we have the contact and everything. So the embassy in Saudi Arabia must be aware of such girls. We are not saying they should not go and work for and get anything for themselves. But let the two countries agree and know that these girls should be. And this girl is going to Riyadh, the other one is going to Kuwait, that one is going to Jeddah. Then we know where they are. We have their addresses and all that. We can make follow-up. But if we just try and give details, people just come and give details anyhow, and they are able to get the details from then it's going to be a problem. And Minister of Foreign Affairs must be aware of all these things that are going on.
Aja, hold on. Let me come to Fifi. I mean, you see, these are adult human beings. So it becomes very dicey. I mean, it's like you're preventing an adult to, go into slavery. There isn't a success story, and like Hajo is saying, even if you try to stop it, they squeeze around the back and go. What's happening?
I think there's a lot of bad, evil communication, and I think that the buck stops with the government. I think the government has to do more. Now, in Saudi Arabia, a lot of these menial jobs our girls are doing are not jobs the Saudis would want to do. So they would have to get the children, to get these women to go and then do them. Now, if the government, being aware of the state of affairs, will sit and watch these girls try to go, attempt to go, watch traffickers attempt to get these girls to Saudi Arabia, then that is bad. I think there should be a lot of education, anti-human trafficking education and campaign. It should be on our airwaves. It should be on the internet. People must be informed about the situation, the state of affairs there in Saudi Arabia and the rest of the Gulf states. But if there's no information, definitely the women will fall prey to these. There should be real action. Yes, the security agencies have to act. I mean, prosecution is very crucial. I don't know how many, syndicates have been, prosecuted. I don't know how many people involved in this process being prosecuted. I have not heard of any yet. Maybe there are some around.
I haven't heard any.
Absolutely. So, if the laws are really working, they should continue to work. Again, there should be information. People must be informed. A lot of these girls going there don't know that they are being sold into slavery, really. They are going to be there for the next 4 or 5 years in servitude. Some of them will come back mad. In fact, just about 3 or 4, 5 weeks ago, we heard of something like that. 3 girls were there at the airport. They had just been deported from Saudi Arabia. They had mental conditions. I don't think that these girls went there when they had these problems. Of course, they never would have been taken there in the first place. But they came back having these issues.
Well, we have on the phone Victoria Nyamiche, who is a victim. So, this is a first hand. Hello, Victoria.
Hello.
Wow, some of these stories are very, very chilling. Victoria, let me start by asking, before you traveled, were you aware of some of these stories that we are being told now?
Actually, I heard of Saudi and other countries, but not Jordan. So I thought Jordan was okay before I left.
Okay. And then briefly, I mean, what were like your job specification, and how much were you promised to be paid?
Yeah, my agent told me they pay like $300 or $400. Sometimes can get even $500. So I said, okay.
A week or a month?
A month.
A month. Okay.
Months, yeah. So I thought once I've completed tertiary, and mine will go high. So I did everything and I left Ghana to 24th August 2016. When I got to Jordan, 25th August 2016, my sponsor came to pick me from the office. And they gave me a job like a house help. I have to work 24/7. If they are not sleeping, you are not sleeping.
I
so
see.
It was very hard for me to stay there.
In your household, was it like the man, the wife, and how many children? Or
You said?
In the household that you went to live in, was it like a man, his wife, and 2, 3 kids?
Yes, a man and a wife, and then 2 children, 1 boy, 1 girl.
And how old were the children?
The firstborn is a boy. He was 16 years. When I was coming back to Ghana, he turned 17 years, just this February. Then the last one is 11 years.
So on a typical day, Victoria, what time would your day start?
My day starts around 6 a.m.
Okay.
Because they go to school from Monday to Thursday, and then Friday they go to mosque. Saturday they are home, then Sunday the work starts. So I wake up from Monday to Thursday, I wake up 6 a.m. From Friday to Saturday, I wake up 9 p.m. So basically, when
when they are in the house, you don't sleep while they are awake. You have to let them sleep. But at times, the man favors me because he knows I'm very tired. And I went to hell. I nearly died here. So God saved me and brought me back home.
Wow. When you were there, were you in contact, or did you see any other families where there were other Ghanaian girls living, or?
Yeah, I went with a girl left before me, but then she was in the capital city, that's Amman, and I was in one of their cities, that's Apex. So we can't contact ourselves, but then we cannot see ourselves, but we have contact. And then I had some other Ghanaian ladies who were also in Jordan who were complaining about how they are maltreating them and stuff. So we had a group chat on WhatsApp that we used to WhatsApp ourselves. So we called home. I called home that we needed help. I've been calling several times, but I never got help from anybody.
Victoria, let me probe a little bit. I mean, but I'm sure in Ghana you still wake up at 6 o'clock. It's not a bad time to wake up, or?
You know, Ghana, we wake up 6. We know that we are working from 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. or you are working from 8 to 4 p.m. But in Jordan or in those countries, you don't have your time limit of closing.
Okay.
You work and work and work and work. Like, you don't know the time you sleep, but they will tell you in the contract that you work for 10 hours. That is not true. But when they are not sleeping, you are not sleeping. You wake up at 6 a.m. You don't even sit. You stand and work, and it will be at times 12 a.m., 1 a.m. You still be working until they go and sleep before you sleep. So it is not like you wake up 6 a.m. and you close at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. No.
Victoria,
it's not like that.
Victoria, let's break it down a bit. I mean, so when you wake up at 6 in the morning, I mean, what do you have to do? Just mop, sweep, wash, cook?
When I wake up, they have 3 big bedrooms, a hall, a kitchen. The halls are 2. They have big kitchen, and every day you are supposed to remove everything and clean everything in the room and put water on the floor and drag it. So every day you are raising things, whether it's heavy or they don't care. They will tell you that's what they brought you here. You are being paid. So they use you. So in the morning at 6 a.m., I prepare coffee for the couples. I go and knock their door and call them. I prepare their shoes, their towel, their children's uniform and everything for them to go to school. When they leave to work in school, I start with the rooms. I wash the washroom 3. There are 3. I have to scrub there every day and remove everything in the washroom and clean. I have to come to the hall and remove everything and clean. I go to the kitchen. And you know how their kitchens are. You have to remove everything and clean every blessed day. They don't want to see a single dirt on their things. So every day you are working.
I see.
You have to water flowers. You have to cook, because I knew how to cook their food. They have to leave it to you for you to cook. And a whole lot.
Wow. I mean, so briefly, how did you escape, or how did you come back? Briefly.
After 8 months, after 3 months, the woman assaulted me. She hit me on my head with a bowl of water and Parazone and then liquid soap in my face. And then one day she used a plate also to hit me. So I ran to the police station in Ailbert, and I told her I want to come back to my country. And what she told me was Ghana was hell. Nobody can save me from Ghana because they allow us to come. So when I got to the police station, the man said, fine, and I should sit here for them to buy a ticket for me. And the man convinced me, then let's go home, I'll buy your ticket for you. That was December 2016. So I left back to the house, and then I struggled with them because the woman, every day the woman is assaulting me, insulting and putting water on me and doing this. So when I said I wanted to come, they didn't want me to come. They wanted a new girl to replace me before they leave me. So I worked again, and they never paid me. They paid me for only September, October. The 6 months pay, they never paid me. They told me when I'm coming to Ghana, they will give my money to me, but they never gave me any money. So I told them that I want to come, and all the time I will be crying and stuff. And the man, one day, the woman wanted to hit me with the table and kill me and stuff. The man just drove the car and said, let's go and buy tickets. So we went to the ticket place, and they bought the ticket for me, and I came to Ghana.
Wow, what a chilling story. Let me go to the phones and speak to Victoria Nachu, who's the director of Human Trafficking Ministry of Gender. She definitely has a lot on her plate. This is another Victoria, but this one has not been trafficked. Hello, Victoria.
Hi.
Victoria, you have a lot on your plate.
It's not me alone. We have a set of organizations working in this area.
How do we? I mean, you would think this is quite simple to stop because hey, don't go because when you go, I mean, you could be killed, you could be maltreated. I mean, that shouldn't be so hard to stop, is it?
Unfortunately, if it were as simple as that, we started this sensitization program to prevent people from traveling for a long while now. It didn't start yesterday. We've been in communities ourselves, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. I had the Human Trafficking Secretariat. We work with Ghana Immigration Service. We work with Labor Department under Employment and Labor Relations. We also work with NGOs, IOM, ILO, and the rest. We work with them. We've been in communities. Free the slaves, right to be free. We go around talking about issues like this, the dangers of trafficking and the fact that if you want to migrate safe. We have labor departments that recruit people properly. They register the recruitment agencies, and they have various ways of dealing with how to get out if you want to travel. Ghana is a free state. We are not saying don't travel. But when you want to travel, you should know what you are going to do. You must have a contract document. There should be a confirmation that whatever you are going to do in whichever country, that organization exists, and there is an agreement that this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to be paid for, and this is my conditions of service. And then you get there, and if it is not right, you have the licensed agency that took you there, and you have to report back to them, and they will bring you back because they paid money for repatriation processes in case of emergency. But unfortunately for us, most of them will want to travel with the unlicensed ones because probably, I don't know, it's cheaper, or sometimes they are deceived and told all sorts of stories. The funny side of those stories is the fact that you are told you are going to do hairdressing in the Gulf states, where women always cover themselves up. And then you sell your properties only to get there, and then you become a house help. And these are the kind of things we are hearing. So it's not that simple as you have said. It is a difficult situation. We'll continue talking, and now that people are even coming from the difficult situation themselves to talk, my prayer is that people are listening and they will accept the fact that when we come to talk and we show pictures and the rest, sometimes they don't believe it. Now they are hearing from their own human beings what they've gone through.
So a quick one before I take a quick break is, are the agents breaking any law and can they be convicted, and has anyone been convicted?
That will be with the Labor Department. We coordinate the activities. I know a few cases where they had brushes with the law, but I don't know whether they've been sent to court and prosecuted.
Thank you.
The fact is that most of the registered ones don't have any serious problem, even though once in a while they are told they may come and request that they want to send about 20 people. They have that license, and before you could say that, they have more than the 20. That is where they fall foul.
Okay.
But then as to whether they've done something else, I'm not sure. Most of the children or people who travel, and most of them are children, because you see they put wigs on their head and then they present themselves as adults. But if you go into the details, they are young people below 18 years.
Wow.
The recruitment agencies that do not have, the fraudulent ones that do not have offices and telephone numbers. Sometimes you see some of these numbers on light poles by the roadside, wherever. Then you see people seriously copying them. and then getting this information. The next time you go there, it is not there. And you are not able to locate until you go underground, like the way Arimiao investigates some of these cases, underground, pretending you are one of them. And if you are lucky, then you might be able to get somebody into the trap, and then you can prosecute. But otherwise, it's a dark place. That is where they operate, and it's difficult to identify them.
Victoria, thank you very much for that insight, and I think the struggle still goes on. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, the conversation continues that well. Well, the story still continues. In related development, the child trafficking syndicate has been arrested by the Aflao Division of the Ghana Immigration Services. Therefore, 2 Ghanaians and 2 Nigerians were arrested on Sunday when transporting 44 victims to Nigeria, where they were expected to transit to the Gulf region, particularly Saudi Arabia. The suspects and the 44 suspects are being held at the headquarters of the Immigration Office, where Latif Idrif, another colleague, has visited. Let's see how the story pans out.
The background here at the headquarters of the Immigration Office are 44 victims of child trafficking. These 44 were picked up on Sunday at the Aflao border checkpoint by immigration officers who were manning the post at the time. Now, they were picked up plus 4 of their masters, 2 Nigerians and 2 Ghanaians who were transporting these victims. Now, I have the acting head of public affairs at the Immigration Office here, and is going to give us a bit more info on this development. You're welcome to JoyNews, Mr. Mofo.
Yeah, thank you very much.
What can you tell us about this, apart from what you already know when they were picked up?
Yes, between Sunday and today, our officers at the Aflao Sector Command picked them up. Recently the government placed a ban on travel through Kotoka International Airport, and it looks like these traffickers now have turned their attention to the eastern frontier, preferably Akanu, Aflao areas. So, being alert at the frontiers, they intercepted 2 buses load of these ladies, and the 4 traffickers, 2 Ghanaians and 2 Nigerians, have been apprehended and currently assisting in investigations.
Have you found out why these individuals are risking it all to go to wherever these 4 were taking them to?
Yes, from the little we've done, they are being taken to Saudi Arabia, where they think they can seek for the golden fleece. So for some of them, yes, they are happy that maybe they are being taken away to where life could be better for them.
We've had harrowing stories coming from the Gulf, particularly Saudi Arabia. Do we know why they still want to risk?
Yeah, yes, it beats our imaginations, because there are a lot of public education, even from the GIS, about the dangers of being trafficked to such places. But at times, out of ignorance, and even at times the sheer fact that people want to make it in life, then they tend to ignore all that education that is being given and want to venture and see what they can achieve for themselves.
Are you upping up your game? I'm talking about the immigration. I mean, to sort of catch these individuals, because now they are coming up with new ways and means to outwit your outfits. What are you doing differently to ensure they do not get, to defeat, your, efforts?
Yeah, but that's something I may not say here, but it is due to the strategies that we put in place that led to the apprehension of these 4 traffickers and the 44 ladies that were trying to traffic. We are on alert. Our border patrol unit is high on the alert, doing both foot patrol and maintenance patrol. So we are up to the task, and as long as they continue to engage in this thing, we will apprehend them.
How widespread is this business of trafficking? Victims, unsuspecting victims such as this?
Yes, this arrest alone will tell you how far it has gone, because apart from what we see on WhatsApp videos and public education that the GIS embarks on, and if you could still get this total number of people wanting to still to be trafficked or embark on such journeys, then it tells you that a lot needs to be done. And in spite of our limitations or handicaps as an institution or a service, we are still doing our best and pulling all together to fight against this trafficking business.
Well, so there you go. While we have others telling their chilling stories, there are 40 girls in a bus. Well, if you block Kotoka, then we're going to drive to Nigeria and make our way. How else would we, educate our sisters to realize that, look, the grass is definitely not greener as you think?
I think there should be, as I said, a lot of education. There should be a lot of anti-human trafficking campaign on our radios, on the television, online, everywhere. The government must invest in this. Because you see, the point about us being a sovereign state is this, that the state is able to protect its citizens. When an American is locked up in Iran, there's a lot of negotiation, there's a lot of talk, high-level talk to get the American back. The same should be happening when it comes to Ghana. Our people are out there being exploited. Our people are out there being sexually abused. Our people are out there trying to fend for themselves, find some money to come and then improve the livelihoods of their families. Unfortunately, what's happening is that they are being abused there. The government must be very much interested in this. We are excited about some of these actions underway. For example, the arrest of these 4 people who were trafficking the 40 women to Saudi Arabia. But it shouldn't stop there. They have to go to the conclusion of the matter, which is ensuring that these people are properly prosecuted and, if found culpable, jailed, really. If these continue, I'm sure that this whole business will not be as attractive as it is now. Because really, even if you are arrested, within 24 hours, you are going to be released, and that will be it. So there should be a lot of education. Ghanaians must be told that these are the stark realities out there in these Gulf regions. It is not all rosy there. There are these other things that you should know about. Again, there should be the prosecution. There should be increased, patrols of the borders and the ports and so on and so forth.
Fifi, let me throw in this. Because Haji Aboya mentioned that the few who, the masters are aware that, look, the embassy is aware you live here, they seem to be, a bit cautious in how they treat them. And, I think there's a demand, or there's a, and we are crying for unemployment. So maybe, just like we send soldiers to the UN and make a cut out of it, well, why not? There are millions of ladies who probably don't mind doing that temporary, job, earn something and come back, and the state could get something for it. But then you'll be getting them from the embassy, right source, and therefore, if you abuse them, they'll take you through the proper channels. I don't know.
I think so. I think the minister has been talking about the possibility of being able to track these women. So wherever they are in these countries, wherever they are, if it's in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, or whichever city you are in, they are able to track you. I think that is the way, that is the solution going forward. One of the many that they can think about, so that if the woman, who is in a certain house, is not feeling comfortable, feels she wants to return to Ghana, definitely she can call the embassy, and the embassy can say that, okay, come back to your country. I think if things are going to go that way, we'll see a solution to this. We are not the experts. We don't have a 10-point plan of action complete with tables and charts. But the government should have. The government should have these and make sure that this thing is completely removed.
Thank you very much, Fifi Kumson, the man with the voice. Suave, I call him. 024-366-2001. That's not a number to go to Saudi. That's Tanti's fashion. So you give them a call and If you want a nice shirt made, male or female, Tanti's Fashion will make you a shirt. 024-366-2001. I want to say thank you to all who contributed to the show, and thank you very much, brother.
Thank you.
And to you at home, tomorrow we'll be back to do this all over again. Thank you.